Now let's see how to execute select queries using JdBc template in Spring Boot. So this is the agenda. I'll show how to execute simple select count star query and convert the result into an integer, and then we'll see how to execute prepared statement by passing parameters or placeholders, and then we execute the query and convert the result set into a domain object using row mapper, and at last we execute the query and convert the result set into list of domain objects using row mapper. Now let's see how to execute a simple select count star query and convert the result into an integer. So for that we have to use JdBc template dot query for object method, and you have to pass the query, and you have to pass the class to which you want to extract the result or convert the result. So for example, here I'm using JdBc template dot query for object and passing select count star from gadget and integer dot class. I want to convert the count into integer, and I get the output as row count, integer row count. And I will show this example in Spring Boot. So this is the get mapping, the get API for row count. Here I'm just executing the query select count star from gadget using the query for object method and passing integer dot class, so that I want to convert the result into integer. And also I will show the table gadget in H2 console. You see there are 5 records and the row count should return 5. I will execute the row count API in Postman, and you see the total count is 5. Now let's look at how to execute prepare statement by passing parameters or placeholders. The method remains same, so we have to use query for object method from JdBc template, and you have to pass your query with the placeholders select count star from gadget where category equal to question mark. After that you have to pass the class to which the result will be converted and the placeholder values. If you have multiple placeholder values, you can pass multiples here. So in this case, I'm trying to get count from gadget table where category is mobile or whatever, and then I'm passing the category in the method. Now let's see the same example in the Spring Boot microservice. So here is the get API. I want row count with the category, and this is the query select count star from gadget where category equal to question mark, and I'm converting the result into integer class, and I'm passing the category to the JdBc template query for object. So this is from Postman. You see I want to get the row count for mobile category, and in H2 console you can see there are 2 records with the category mobile, and then I will execute. Now you see it shows 2 records. Now now let's see how to execute query and convert the result set into a domain object using row mapper. So in the earlier methods, we have seen how to convert the result into single class like integer or string, which is straightforward. But you want to convert the result, all the columns, into a domain a map. We want to map all the columns to a domain object. So you have to use the row mappers. And here is how we will use the same query for object, and we pass the select query. And so this part is the row mapper. After select query, you have to use the row mapper, and then you have to pass the placeholders. So I will explain this in the direct code. Now you see, I want to get gadget provided ID, and I'm saying select count star, select star from gadget where ID equal to question mark, and this is the row mapper. Row mapper is a lambda interface, and I have to pass a result set and the row number. And this part is how you are mapping the columns from result set into domain object. So I have to create the gadget and setting the ID and setting the name by extracting the column name from result set. And for setting category, I'm extracting category column from result set. And after that, I'm returning gadget. I'll show now. So I want to get a gadget where ID equal to 1, and I will send. Now you see I got ID, name, and category. So this is how you can execute the query and extract it into a domain object. Now let's see how to execute the query and convert the result set into list of domain objects using row mapper. So earlier we have seen how to convert the result set into a single domain object. Now in this case, we are trying to convert the result set into list of domain objects. So we use the same row mapper, but only difference is instead of query for object, we have to use query method. Query for objects always returns a single result. So with the query, it can return list of objects. So you have to pass the same select query and everything remains same like previous. You have to pass the select query and then the row mapper and then placeholders. I will show the same here in microservice. So I have this get mapping where I want to get all the gadgets for a given category, and I'm just using the query method instead of query for object, and then pass the same, pass the query and then pass the row mapper and pass the category. So the row mapper remains same for query for object or query. There is no change. Only the method is changed. And I will execute the API from Postman. So I want to get all gadgets where type is category is mobile. Now you see I got two gadgets for category mobile. So this is how you can execute select queries and convert the results into a simple plain classes like integer or string, or you can convert into a domain object, or you can convert into list of domain objects.